Hello everyone, and in this next lecture we are going to talk about more about variables. So in previous video I mentioned just a little bit about it. So for example I will write variable called I and equals to a minus 25 and output it on to our browser. So document.write I refresh it. So as you can see, a JavaScript can work with also positive numbers, also with negative numbers, and also with decimal numbers. So if I would type here dot uh, some random numbers, and I will refresh it, as you can see, we can use it in JavaScript. Basically, we have six. These are called primitive data types in JavaScript. We already know two of them, so numbers and strings. Number is this, and string is text between these two quotation marks. Also, we can store into variable something called boolean. So just remember boolean, it stands for true or false. We will get in this later, so don't worry, just keep that in mind that boolean is true or false. Next, we have null. So when I would type null, uh, this basically does that the variable I is doesn't exist. So it basically tells to the script that I is nothing. So if I would use it later or something, that's nothing. We cannot use it. Also, we can store here objects, functions, and also something called undefined. But this is automatically assigned to a variable when it's declared somewhere. So we don't use it often. Uh, what we use often is string, number, boolean, and maybe null. Also, I want to mention something interesting here when we are working with strings and we want to write direct speech. So we need to put backslashes, two backslashes before our quotation marks to see the quotation marks in our web browser. So for example, I will type mother said go wash dishes. We need to put backslash here and backslash here in order to see that. Now when we refresh, we see it here because JavaScript, when we would not write here these two quotation marks, JavaScript can think that we are declaring some another variable to this current variable I. For example, I equals to a, and here we need to write it here. A equals 5. Now, when a is 5 and I is a, we can write here I, and we will have a result 5. So that's how JavaScript works. I will go back with this. So you need to pay attention to this when you want to see quotation marks in a string, or you can use when it's just one word with quotation marks in output. You can use these question marks. Uh, Go wash dishes. And now you will see it here, but with these little apostrophes, or how does it say? I don't know what's that, but you know. So keep that in mind, and always put backslashes before the quotation marks. Also, if we would have here these ones, when we have the same, we need to do it. If we have different types of quotation marks, we don't need to do that. You see? So